About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan and my credentials are I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will be certainly useful for you because I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases. So these keywords and the key phrases will certainly help you to crack prelims as well as mains examinations, because it will make you sure that you get into the mode of identifying the keywords, that is identifying the factual, analytical and conceptual questions for the prelims as well as for the mains examination in regards to answer writing. That is, when you imbibe the keywords and the key phrases, you will certainly score higher marks in the mains examinations. So this session will be certainly useful for prelims as well as mains, both for 2020 as well as 2021. And we will be going ahead with the daily news analysis, that is today, that is 2nd of October 2020. And before we get into the daily news analysis, the quote of the day is, "The future depends on what you do today." The future will certainly depend on what you do today, is said by Mahatma Gandhi. And before I get into the topic, I would say a very good morning to everyone who is in the live and also in the live chat. A warm welcome to all to AKS IAS Academy also for the daily news analysis by me, that is Sandeep Bhushan, and a warm welcome to D. Suvarna also. And the news what we will be looking at today is, in regards to the daily news analysis, is that the Supreme Court has granted bail to a man who was accused under UAPA. So what is UAPA? It is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, is called as UAPA, unlawful activities. So the activities wherein they are performing which is unlawful, and to prevent those unlawful activities you have a act called as UAPA Act. And a person called as Adil Ansari was in 2014, he has been booked under UAPA Act and he has spent in jail for 6 years. And the Supreme Court has now granted him a bail, saying that he was not actually being part of the entire allegations which were being made by the Jodhpur and Delhi police. So definitely it is a rare situation wherein the Supreme Court is giving a bail to a person who is been under UAPA Act. And the bench, which was led by Justice Rohinton Nariman, in an order, he has disagreed with the Rajasthan High Court. So Rajasthan High Court has refused to grant a bail to the accused, that is Adil Ansari. But the Supreme Court, which is the bench led by Justice Rohinton Nariman, has put forth the disagreement towards the Rajasthan High Court, wherein it has refused to grant a bail to Adil Ansari. And Adil was accused. He was accused and he was put in jail under the UAPA Act because he was accused of facilitating the escape of a person called as Saqib Ansari, who was arrested in a joint operation of Jodhpur and Delhi police in the year 2014. So Adil Ansari was accused on the charges that he had facilitated the escape of Saqib Ansari in the year 2014. That is why he was booked under UAPA Act and he has spent 6 years in the jail, but Supreme Court has granted the bail. So what is the importance of it? We will look at it. He was booked under section 43D of 5 of UAPA for allegedly indulging in terror activities. So UAPA, he has been booked under section 43D of 5, which is, again, this is important for your better understanding, because he has allegedly indulged in the terror activities by what? Facilitating the escape of Saqib. By facilitating the escape of Saqib. So definitely was involved in the terror activities, and this Adil was also allegedly indulged in the terror activities. That is why he was booked under section 43D of 5. But if you look at the other side of it is practically impossible. Look at this. It is practically impossible to get a bail under this provision. Which provision? Under UAPA Act. When a person is booked, it is practically impossible to get a bail under this provision. But how could Adil get a bail? And then how could Supreme Court grant a bail to Adil after 6 years he has spent in jail, wherein he has been accused and put in jail in the year 2014 by the Delhi and Jodhpur police under UAPA Act. This is the what you need to actually get into the mode of analytical or conceptual understanding. Under UAPA, it is practically impossible to get the bail, but there are scenarios wherein it allows, that is UAPA allows a court to reject a bail even if police documents or prosecutors suggest the allegations are prima facie true. So if you look at bail is it's impossible, and also if the police is or the prosecutor is showing the documents, is providing the evidence that he is the prima facie true, that means he hasn't really involved in the allegation. Even in that scenarios also the court can go ahead with rejecting the bail. But the apex court, in the case of the Adil's case, it has granted a bail because the apex court says that Adil's name was not mentioned. This is very important. If it was mentioned in the FIR, then it is practically impossible for Adil or any person to get a bail who is booked under UAPA. And if the person, or else if the police is providing the documents or the prosecutor is suggesting that the allegations are prima facie, even in that scenarios also the court cannot or can reject the bail. But in the case of Adil, the apex court or the Supreme Court has granted the bail because this is very important, because his name was not mentioned in the police FIR. That is why the apex court has taken a situation, or it has taken this entire scenario, that as the name is not mentioned, so definitely he is not found guilty and he is being granted bail. And the bench also said that it has gone through the charge sheet which has been filed in September 2014, and it has gone through the entire charge sheet file and noted that Adil was denied bail even in October 2014. And now the apex court, when it has seen the entire charge sheet and the police FIR wherein the Adil's name is not mentioned, so the Supreme Court has taken a decision, or the verdict of the Supreme Court is to grant a bail to the Adil who has been booked in 2014 under UAPA Act, which is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So he was booked under section 43D of I. So this is very important news because it is for internal security. GS paper 3 in the mains, for the mains examination. It looks very simple. But UAPA Act is important as far internal security syllabus is concerned. UAPA Act. And Azmat Khan has joined, Ram Sunil has joined. A warm welcome to both of you also. And we have another report. We have also looked at yesterday the report which has been given up by the NCRB, that is National Crime Records Bureau. And now again we would be looking at the data which has been released, which is pertaining to the crime against women. So the NCRB has come up with a report which is in regards to the crimes against women, and the crimes against women in India, or the entire metropolitan cities in India. If you look at Delhi ranks first among the 19 metropolitan cities in India, which is recording the highest number of crimes against the women. So if you look at the entire data which shows about the crime against women, the capital city or the Delhi accounts for 1/3 of the total number of the crimes which have been taken up or which have been taken in India in the year 2019. In the year 2019, and the data also suggests that Delhi accounts for almost 28% of the total figure of the crime against women in India, and then followed by Mumbai, which is a 14.3% out of entire India's total number of crimes, and then followed by Bengaluru with 7.7%. So metropolitan cities amongst 19, Delhi ranks the first, second Mumbai, and third Bengaluru. And then if you look at the rape cases also, the capital city, that is Delhi, has the highest number with 1231, followed by Jaipur and then by Mumbai. Second is Jaipur and then the third is Mumbai. So if you look at even the crime against women or the rape cases and even the molestation cases or misbehaving with the women, Delhi again is at the top with 2311 cases, followed by Mumbai and Jaipur. So if you look at the crime against women and then in regards to the rape cases, molestation cases, in regards to all this, Delhi is topping and it is first among the 19 metropolitan cities. This is the report or the data which is been released by the National Crime Records Bureau, and this again in regards to the safety of the women or women's safety. You can consider this data while you are making your short notes for the mains examination in regards to the women's safety. You can take this data and quote that how the national capital city, that is Delhi, or else Delhi is topping among the 19 metropolitan cities in India. And Delhi also has recorded 5 cases when it is in regards to the murder with rape, and 115 in regards to the dowry deaths cases, 3697 in regards to cruelty by husbands or the relatives onto the women, and 3398 cases in regards to kidnapping and abduction. So if you look at the entire overall, the crime against women is high. When you compare the crime against women, you have murder with rape against women, dowry deaths against women, cruelty by husband or relatives against the women, cases of kidnapping and abductions against the women. So this very clearly states that the women's safety is out of gear, and it is thrown that it is not really taken care by the government or else the Delhi also. And if you look at the maximum number of theft cases also across, if you look at the metropolitan cities, even Delhi is topping the highest, which has the 30.39% of increase in reported crimes when you compare it with 2018. 2018 it is 2,25,000. If you compare with 2018 to 2019, it is 2,94,000. So definitely there is an increase of the reported crimes in New Delhi. And if you look at the kidnapping and abduction, wherein they wanted to compel for marriage, so in that scenario or in that ranking, Patna is the top, or it is taking the lead, and Delhi also has 7 such cases in regards to kidnapping and abduction. But the top, the one which is the capital city or metropolitan city, is the Patna, which is in regards to kidnapping and abduction. So do follow this news in regards to the women's safety, wherein you can certainly have a factual data which you can present it in your answer writing, which could be a couple of lines in your short notes for your mains examination. And then 3 soldiers killed and 5 injured in firing along LOC. So we have been following this news, that is in regards to LAC, which is between India and China. But there are certainly the ceasefire violation which is going ahead along India and Pakistan along the LOC. And we have seen that it is a repeated scenario which is going ahead in the Jammu and Kashmir along the LOC between India and Pakistan, and 3 soldiers were killed and 5 of them were injured in a unprovoked ceasefire violation. So ceasefire violation is the key word here. So you have a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, but repeatedly Pakistan is violating the ceasefire which has been taken up between India and Pakistan, and thereby it is firing along the LOC and causing disturbances and loss of life and loss of property is also happening in the Jammu and Kashmir along the LOC, and that is the cause of concern since almost 2 or 3 years between India and Pakistan along LOC. And this is by the Pakistan Army, which has been gone ahead with unprovoked ceasefire violation by the Pakistan Army along the LOC, that is line of control, in Jammu and Kashmir, in Kupwara and Poonch districts. So in these two districts we have seen the ceasefire violation, and that is in the Kupwara and Poonch districts. And then they have gone ahead with the army, Pakistani army have gone ahead with firing mortars and other weapons. Thereby we have seen the 2 soldiers who have been sustained fatal injuries, and 3 of them have been killed and 5 of them were injured. And we have the ceasefire violation, and then the firing is being taken up even in Pir Panjan Valley of Poonch district. So in the Poonch district you have a valley called as Pir Panjal Valley, wherein even there are the Pakistani army is going ahead with the firing and shelling. So even there we have seen 1 soldier who have been died. So it was in the Kupwara district and the Poonch districts, totally 3 soldiers were been killed because of the ceasefire violation and the Pakistani army firing and shelling onto the Indian soldiers along the LOC from Pakistan towards India, that is Jammu and Kashmir. And then both Pakistani army is also going ahead with firing even in the Krishna Ghati sector of Poonch district. So you have in the Poonch district and also in the Kupwara district. So the firing is definitely going on. That is in the Pir Panjal Valley of the Poonch district and the Krishna Ghati sector in the Poonch district is certainly a ceasefire violation is being experienced, and the Pakistan army is firing and shelling against or onto the Indian soldiers army in regards to the ceasefire violation. And if you look at the data from the Home Ministry of Home Affairs, Jammu and Kashmir also, till July 2020 there are 2952 ceasefire violation from Pakistani side. And then in this, not only the security personnel or else the Indian soldiers have been died, but even the civilians are also succumbed to the firing and shelling by the Pakistani army. So 15 civilians and 8 security personnel have been died since July 2020, and we have seen almost 3000 ceasefire violation from Pakistani side, and this is a cause of concern that it has to be fixed and it has to be discussed between India and Pakistan so that the civilians will not be targeted along with the security personnel being succumbed to death because of the firing and shelling. And there is another news which talks about charge sheet against Hafiz Saeed. So definitely we know who is Hafiz Saeed. He is the chief of Lashkar-e-Taiba. He is the chief of Lashkar-e-Taiba, and this Lashkar-e-Taiba, who is the chief, is the Hafiz Saeed. It is based, that is a Pakistani based terrorist organization, and Hafiz Saeed is the Pakistani based terrorist, and he is the founder of Jamaat-ud-Dawa, and is a founder of Jamaat-ud-Dawa and also the founder of Falah-e-Insaniyat Foundation, FIF. He is a founder of JUD, that is Jamaat-ud-Dawa, and is also founder of Falah-e-Insaniyat Foundation, and various other terrorist funding cases are also being imposed onto the chief of Lashkar-e-Taiba, that is Hafiz Saeed, by the Enforcement Directorate. So the Enforcement Directorate has filed the charge sheet against Hafiz Saeed, who is a Pakistani based terrorist, in regards to terror funding cases. This is a keyword. So the Enforcement Directorate has filed the charge sheet because of terror funding. And amongst Hafiz Saeed, the others who have been prosecuted are the deputy of Hafiz Saeed, that is Shahid Muhammad and Salman and also Mohammad Kamran. So if you look at the Kamran and Mohammad Salim, they were involved in Hawala operator from Delhi. So Hawala operator is a illegal mode of transfer of money, illegal transaction, which is a mode of transaction of money which takes place wherein physical money is not there. Physical money do not exist in the Hawala cases, but it is the Hawala or the brokers who operate this with just a trust, and there is no money, physical money transaction which goes, but the money which actually here in this case the ED has probed, and it is based on a charge sheet which has been filed by National Investigation Agency. So based on the charge sheet which has been filed by the National Investigation Agency, Enforcement Directorate has filed a charge sheet on Hafiz Saeed on terror funding. So again, definitely it is under various sections of UAPA. So we have looked at this UAPA, wherein we have discussed that Supreme Court has granted bail to Adil, and I also said that it is almost practically impossible to get a bail, to grant bail, and court can reject even if the prosecutor is providing the procedure in regards to prima facie also, or the police is providing documents. But look at it there, because the name was not instilled or it was not been part of the police FIR, he has been given the bail. And look at it here now, ED has gone ahead with charging the charge sheet on the UAPA. That is how this UAPA is so stringent. Unlawful Activities Prevention Act against Salman, Salim, Kamran, and also in regards to the Hafiz Saeed, in regards to the terror funding. And definitely these funds were from FIF, that is the another terrorist organization, that is Falah-e-Insaniyat Foundation, which is again been founded by Hafiz Saeed. And definitely the amount, the funds have been received from FIF. Salman has received from FIF, that is Hafiz Saeed, wherein that was through the Hawala channel. And definitely this FIF is a Pakistani based terrorist organization which has been established by Jamaat-ud-Dawa, which is the foundation for designating a terrorist organization. And this Jamaat-ud-Dawa is been designated as a terrorist organization by United Nations in the year 2012. Again, this is a crucial information for preliminary UPSC point of view. So Jamaat-ud-Dawa or Lashkar-e-Taiba, the chief is Hafiz Saeed, wherein that organization Jamaat-ud-Dawa has been designated as terrorist organization by United Nations on March 14, 2012. And Hafiz Saeed was also designated as global terrorist, and ED probe has certainly revealed that the funds have been routed from Pakistan to Dubai, and from Dubai it has come to India. So this is the Hawala channel. That means from Pakistan it goes to Dubai, and from Dubai it has come to India. So thereby here no physical amount is being transferred, but it goes ahead with then this Hawala channel is an illegal mode of transfer of money. And before I get into the next topic, Ravi Teja has joined, Kiran Malladi has joined, Kondal has also joined. A warm welcome to everyone in regards to the AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. So this again in regards to you can take this as the terrorist organization, or in regards to the terror funding, or in regards to the money laundering. Again, these are all in regards to the GS paper 3, which is part of internal security. And there is another news which talks about state can't term slowdown as public emergency. So the keyword here is public emergency. So who has termed the economic slowdown as a public emergency? It was the states in India or Indian states have termed the economic slowdown as the public emergency during the national lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And we have seen that because of terming the economic slowdown as the public emergency, the state government has taken taken away various provisions which were granted to the laborers constitutionally through the labor reforms. They were being subsided or they have been nullified, and the labor was at the receiving end, wherein he was not protected legally because the states have termed the economic slowdown as a public emergency, and during public emergency, under the section 5 of the Factories Act, the state can revoke all the laws or the benefits which are provided to the labor. So the states have taken this route, which is not at all correct, and that was pronounced by the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court had said that states can't decide the slowdown is a public emergency, and it has pronounced on October 1st 2020 that the state cannot declare the slowdown caused by the pandemic as a public emergency. And this by making sure that you have brought in the public emergency, that keyword or the statement, by bringing the public emergency statement, the states have curtailed the rights of the people, that is the migrant workers or the laborers. And the pandemic, what the Supreme Court says is, the pandemic had not resulted any kind of internal disturbance or any kind of grave emergency which was a security threat to India. Because when you say it is a public emergency, it has to be that there has to be an internal disturbance, or at least there has to be a grave emergency which India has experienced. At least that there was or there is some security to India, or a warlike situation which India has been threatened. But no such scenarios India has experienced during the pandemic situation. There was no such situation. That is, there was no internal disturbance, there was no grave emergency, there was no threat to India itself, there was no warlike situation. Then how can the states declare the economic slowdown as the public emergency and curtail the rights of the people? That is very important. That you need to focus in regards to the rights of the labor or labor rights. So certainly the labor rights were curtailed during the economic slowdown or national lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And the bench, which has been led by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, has observed that the sweeping powers of the state, that means the powers, the way the state has taken up the power, or it has self-granted the powers to declare a public emergency, could only wielded a case of a threat to the security of India. That means only when there is a threat to the security of India, or any part of the territory is under war, or there is an external aggression, or there is an internal disturbance. Only in these scenarios the state can term the situation as a public emergency. And how come the states have granted themselves such enormous powers to declare an economic slowdown as a public emergency was questioned by the bench led by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. And D.Y. Chandrachud has also observed that only because of the economic slowdown which was created by COVID-19 pandemic situation does not qualify an internal disturbance. Does not qualify an internal disturbance, and it does not threaten the security of the states. And that means you cannot, the states have done a serious grave mistake in announcing public emergency because of the economic slowdown. And the verdict has also dealt with blanket notification which has been issued by Gujarat government. So we have seen the Madhya Pradesh government, the Gujarat government, Uttar Pradesh government, and else various other governments also, the in the south and also in the north and northeast also, they have come up with various actions by the government, and especially the Gujarat government, denying the factory workers overtime wages. Not only Gujarat, even in regards to the UP and also Madhya Pradesh also have come up with this public emergency. Through imposing the public emergency, they have cut down the overtime wages because they have declared the situation as a public emergency. And under public emergency, that is section 5 of the Factories Act, the workers should work overtime without being paid extra, that is without being paid overtime wages they have to pay, and the number of hours also been increased. So this, the Supreme Court has given a statement or given a verdict that how can the states or state can't term the slowdown as a public emergency. So this is in regards to the labor rights. You can take this, and while you are writing an answer writing, that is as part of your short notes, you can mention the Supreme Court verdict onto the keyword public emergency can't be termed by the states only because of the economic slowdown caused by the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And Viru has also joined. A warm welcome to you, Viru, to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And the another news is NABARD to refinance 800 crore loans. So what is NABARD? It is National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development. So this is again very important keyword in regards to the economy, because there could be a possibility that in the prelims UPSC perspective questions can be framed because of the scenario what is the India facing or the Indian economy being faced because of the national lockdown and because of the economic stimulus which has been provided by the government of India or the Prime Minister to make sure that various sectors are being pumped the liquidity, even along with the RBI taking various measures. So here in this case, the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So you have a bank for agriculture and rural development. That bank is called as NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. And what it has done, it has announced a special refinance facility. So again, this is another keyword. What is the keyword here? The special refinance facility. It has announced, NABARD has announced, of how much? Of 800 crore for the financial year, that is 2021, for WASH program. For WASH. What is WASH? It is Water, Sanitation and Hygiene program. So again, this is crucial keyword for preliminary examination. So WASH program, which is the Government of India's program. Government of India's program, wherein the NABARD has announced special refinance facility to the Government of India's program, that is Water, Sanitation and Hygiene program. And NABARD will definitely provide concessional refinance to all the eligible institutions, not only to WASH program but also to all the eligible financial institutions. For example, commercial banks, regional rural banks, that is RRBs, and then cooperative banks. So definitely with a repayment period of 36 months. So this is the the time period which is provided so that there could be some breath or space for the commercial banks, regional rural banks and cooperative banks, that the repayment period can be extended up to 36 months, and that is concessional refinance which is been provided by NABARD to all the eligible financial institutions. And the support will be channelized to fund WASH activities, that is Water, Sanitation and Hygiene program, which is definitely a thrust to all the eligible for 95% refinance to the wash program, and the bank credit to be extended to NBFCs, MFIs and other MFIs. So the bank credit will also be extended to non-banking financial companies, microfinancial institutions and other microfinancial institutions in regards to the various societies and trusts which are part of the MFIs, that is microfinancial institutions. So look at it, not only in regards to the NABARD, but the bank will also extend the credit to NBFCs and MFIs. So these are all very important keywords: non-banking financial companies and microfinancial institutions. And before I move to the next one, Anvesh and Anji have joined. Mudraj, a warm welcome to both of you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we will look at the recapitulate of DNA. So we have looked at the Supreme Court grants bail to a man under UAPA Act. This is again very important in regards to the GS paper 2, GS paper 3, in GS paper 3, wherein it is in regards to the internal security. There you can talk about the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. And then in regards to the women, this is again very important in regards to women's safety we have discussed, which we have looked at in regards to the report which is being given by NCRB, National Crime Record Bureau, which you can take it as a short notes for your answers, mains examination. And this is again in regards to the India-Pakistan. There has to be a bilateral talks, certainly, because we have seen civilians are being killed, even the the police personnel have been succumbed to death because of the firing or because of the ceasefire violation between India and Pakistan along LOC. And then charge sheet again Hafiz Saeed, this is again based on the international relations, which is again dynamic part, which is again dynamic IR part, which you can focus. And again here we have looked at UAPA, and which is the one which is a designated terrorist organization and designated terrorist by the United Nations, Hafiz Saeed and Jamaat ud Dawa. State, here we are talking about the labor rights. So definitely there could be a question in the prelims as well as mains in regards to the labor rights, which were grossly misused by few states in India because of the economic slowdown. On the name of the economic slowdown, they have imposed the public emergency, which was incorrect, says Supreme Court. And NABARD again in regards to the economy, you can focus this, wherein we have looked at a program called as WASH. So this is again a very important program because the government initiative or government program, and this is in regards to the refinancing facility. So that refinancing facility is a keyword which you can focus, and then also look at it from UPSC prelims as well as mains perspective. And I hope this session was very informative, knowledgeable one, and then it will certainly help you to have an edge over others in the prelims as well as mains from UPSC perspective. So I would say a very big thank you to all and a good luck to you all. And then before you sign off, do like the video, share the video, subscribe the video, and also make sure that you visit AKS IAS Academy website and also subscribe the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy. And then I would see you again, that is tomorrow at 7:30 AM for the daily news analysis. And I would say that please do maintain consistency throughout your preparation. Please do stick to your schedule in regards to your preparation schedule, and then take care of your physical health and mental health. So definitely you will succeed and you will certainly have your goals. You will reach your goals. And then see you again tomorrow at 7:30 AM for the daily news analysis. Thank you very much.